to Mind Your Own Business on DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines. Here are your hosts, Nicole Jacinto and Nikki De Vega.
Good morning, we're back. Welcome back to Mind Your Own Business. Nikki and I were just making fun of someone from her past, not mine.
Kasi one thing, I observe just some people would prefer to speak in English even if their grammar, is incorrect, rather than speak to you even if you're talking to them in the vernacular. Diba? So parang, kasi I was telling you, I met someone na kinakausap ko yung Tagalog. Kasi
nahihirapan na siya eh.
The circumstances were different, laid back eh. You were drinking, in the hotel. And so parang laid back. And then, alam ko namang hirap siya. So, ako na yung nag-a-adjust na. Hindi kita i-Englishin kasi, you're having difficulty. Pero ayaw akong Tagalogin. Kahit balo-balok to, talagang ako na nahiya eh.
Actually, she should have just learned and practiced more.
Diba?
Applied herself to it. There's nothing wrong with her learning the language, but she thinks she knows enough. Pero sometimes, wow. I know who you're talking about. She really makes some mistakes. Parang you would kill me if I made those mistakes in Tagalog. Pagtatawanan ninyo ako. If I spoke in Tagalog the way she speaks English.
Okay, so let's start answering some questions. We have a text here from Sweet of Quezon City. She says, my company gives us only 5 days of vacation leave with pay. This is illegal, diba? Because I should be given 15 days.
Okay, what's your answer to that, Nikki?
Okay, so, let me see. Your company gives you 5 days of VL with pay.
With pay.
Okay. This is not illegal, Sweet, no? Actually, the law, the labor code, only mandates the service incentive leave. If an employee has served for at least 1 year, he's entitled to the service incentive leave of 5 days with pay for every year of service. So, ito lang po ang mandated ng labor code.
So, actually, your company, Sweet, is following the law. Tama yan.
Kasi I understand, Nicole, most companies grant 15 days vacation leave. Now, that is up to the discretion of the company. But the 15 days is not required by law.
Yes.
Hindi po yan required. Out of the generosity na yan ng iyong employer. Ang required lang is 5 days. After you have served for 1 year, So,
after you have served, Sweet, we also have to ask you, maybe how long have you been with the company? Maybe it hasn't been a year. And what kind of industry also is your company in? Like, for example, Nikki, sometimes it's hard, like, maybe if you're, for example, broadcasting, we don't really have holidays and it's understood. Or if you're in retail, maybe they're not giving you the 15 days off on the days that you want. Like, let's say some people, they want to time their leave during Christmas or other holidays, but you can't if you're in that particular industry, or let's say, hotel, restaurant or something like that.
Yun ang hirap kasi, Nicole, no? Some people will give you wrong advice. Na parang, 15 days yan, dapat, it's 5 days. And if you do not use your 5 days, it can be monetized into cash.
Yes.
Pwede siyang ma-convert into cash. Kasi ako, most of my employees, they don't even consume it. And they prefer that it's monetized.
Yes.
And then your employer can include a vacation leave, but it's up to them.
It's up to them, yes. It's not, they're not actually breaking the law. But thanks for asking that question, Sweet. Because now I know. Because really, I did not. Because I've heard different policy. Because, Nikki, I've heard, when I encounter different companies, there are different policies and there are different things. So it's always good to clarify with a lawyer like you. Okay, let's go to the next
can you read
question.
it?
Yes. This is a text from Mandy of Barangay Plainview. Okay, Mandy says, I own a restaurant and charge service charge from customers. The waiter said that they are entitled to the service charge. Is that true? Can I just say something here before you answer the legal?
Go ahead.
Mandy, I really think you should give the waiters the service charge. That's just my opinion. That's why it's there. That's the understanding of the customer, that the service charge is like, in lieu of the tip, you're already adding on the tip for the waiter. But I don't know what the legal answer to that is. So, Attorney Nikki, please take over.
Okay, so you assess service charge. Kasi normally, Nicole, not all, not all restaurants assess service charge. Kasi it's not mandatory.
Yes, it's not mandatory.
Normally, di ba, 10% to?
10%. And then that's different from the VAT.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
exactly.
So,
that's
actually, for the consumer, sometimes na-turn off sila. So, sa bill nila, 22% ang dinadagdag mo kasi 12% VAT, then 10% service charge.
Yes.
Diba? So, anyway, so the waiters are asking for the service charge. Is that true? Partially. Partially true. Kasi under the labor code, for service charge, no, if the company will assess service charge, 85% of the service charge should be given to the employees.
Okay.
Okay? And then 15% can be kept by the company to account for the yung mga breakages.
Yes, that's because that's also
losses.
part of service. Like let's say, a customer broke a glass or something fell while they were washing
Or,
it.
di ba, nasira yung pagkain.
Yes.
And it can be given to managerial employees, yung 15%.
So they have defined that 15%. Yeah, managerial employees also, like, the restaurant manager who doesn't usually get tipped. It's usually the waiter.
Kasi yung 85%, that is given to the rank and file or
Rank
mga
and file,
waiters. And then yung 15%, dun pwede mag-share yung managerial.
Yeah.
That's why I said you're partially correct. Kasi
Yes.
you're not entitled, I mean, the waiters are not entitled to the whole,
Yes.
diba, na service charge.
But to 85% of that 10%. Yeah.
Which the employees will share equally. And the labor code also mandates na you're supposed to give this to them, their share, at least once in 2 weeks
Okay.
or twice a month. Okay.
Like parang 15-13 almost.
Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Sasama mo na sa sweldo. Oo, bibigay mo sa kanila yung service charge. And then actually, alam mo, interesting to, no? Just to inform the restaurant owners, you are not required to impose the service charge.
Actually, yes. I've seen a lot now who have taken it off. But what I do is I leave a tip for the waiter. But when there's a service charge, I tend to leave less because I assume that the waiter is getting the service charge or part of it. And then, before, in the very beginning, when they started that practice here a few years ago, I would say in the Philippines, I would ask, nakuha ba ninyo yung tip? And some of them would say no. But now when I ask around, they say yes. They get it's like a kitty, then everyone gets the equal amount. So actually,
wag
Mandy, I
mong
didn't
i-appropriate lahat. Diba?
85% lang. Like, I didn't mean to judge you, Mandy. What I meant to say was, yes, you should be giving them something. Because
but you know what? Ako, if you were to ask me, if I'm a restaurant owner, I will not impose a service charge. I will just let the consumers give their tips. Kasi, yun yung essence, di ba? Parang, ako consumer, I mean, don't force me.
Don't force me to give a tip.
I feel like I'm being forced to give a tip. What if they gave me bad service?
Exactly.
So, I'm still forced to give you 10%.
And then
diba?
it won't promote goodwill between the customer and the restaurant, even if it's only one waiter who made a mistake. Like, why do I have to give service charge? But they'll pay it, pero medyo nakakainis. So, let them be the ones to give the tip.
Kasi the point here is you're giving them something for good service. So, parang there's no incentive to give good service because of that. And also, Nico, one important thing. That's why I suggest kung restaurant owner ka, don't assess service charge. Kasi, if you assess service charge, so it's binibigay mo na sa mga employees mo 85%, 15%, and then you change your mind na tinanggal mo yung service charge, yun nga ang weird sa labor code, under the labor code, you're still mandated to give your employees yung average na natatanggap nila before based on the service charge.
So be careful. That's what you're saying. Be careful. Don't impose it and then take it out. So now
you can't do that.
Actually, Mandy, since you've been doing it, you'll be mandated by law to still give the average that you've been receiving.
So mabigat yun kasi kaya mo nga let's say isang taon you remove the service charge and then hindi ka pa rin pala ligtas.
Yes.
Yun nga yung bizarre part sa labor code parang since it has been a practice, you're still mandated to give that.
Yeah. Okay. So for those for those restaurant owners who haven't started charging service charge, probably better not to do it
and
let the customer, tip, and then just to work within your own operating expenses, to figure out some budget to account for breakage and things like that. Don't incorporate it in already, and don't let the customer know on the receipt that you're passing off the cost to them. But for those who charge service charge already, as Attorney Nikki pointed out, 85% should be given to the employees at least twice a month. You're supposed to release the money at least twice a month, and then the 15% is to the managerial staff, and you could be part of that because restaurant owners usually also run their own places, and also to account for breakage and other things.
I just remember, Nicole, just a story. Kasi if people are pleased with your services, they themselves will voluntarily give you tip. Kasi I had this client, he has a barber shop. Sabi niya, you know what, mga barbero ko, ang yaman-yaman yan, minimum 2 asawa yan. Kasi meron siyang isang barbero, no, who has this valued client, no, na ang gupit nila is 200. You know, this client, every time he gets his haircut, will give the barber 2,000 pesos.
Yes.
Because he feels that the service rendered to him is worth 2,000 pesos.
Yes.
Diba? Kaya ang yaman nga ng barbero.
Yeah, I've seen that also. Yeah,
kaya maraming kabit.
Kaya maraming kabit. So he's cutting a lot of hair all over the place.
That's
tama.
Right.
Okay, well, it's time for a short break. It's time for us to take in a report from Jojo Sikat and also to do the VOA News. Attorney Nikki De Vega, and I will be right back. So stay tuned to Mind Your Own Business right here on DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines.